fight, push the limit all the night. Feel the fire, hear the sound, burning rubber on the ground. No mercy shown, no second place. In this league, there's no disgrace. If you're not first, you know the luck, but in the end, it sucks to suck. On the edge of speed, we drive the line, leave them broken at the finish sign. Glory waits for those who dare. In the heat of battle, we're prepared. No mercy shown, no second place. In this league, there's no disgrace. If you're not first, you know the luck, but in the end, it sucks to suck. On the end, it sucks. Flares and engines die. The victors stand, the rest just cry. The truth is hard, the road is rough. If you can't keep up, well, it sucks to suck. Engines roar, the lights go green. Metal beasts on gasoline. Pedal down, no turning back. Feel the thunder on the track. Chrome and steel, the battle calls. Through the smoke, we stand tall. Rivals crushed, we leave in dust. Speed is our only trust. You think you're fast, you think you're tough, but on this track it sucks to suck. Born to race, born to fight, push the limit all the night. Feel the fire, hear the sound, burning rubber on the ground. No mercy shown, no second place. In this league, there's no disgrace. If you're not first, you know the luck, but in the end, it sucks to suck. Feel the rush, adrenaline, victory in our skin. Tighten the grip, hold the line. Defeat's the word we leave behind. Danger right with every turn, in every crash, a lesson learned. The roar of engines, scream of time.
Welcome everyone tonight to the Core GT series. This is season 10, round number 5, coming at you from Autodromo, Nazionale, Monza. Got Tyler and Dom here in the booth with me tonight.
Hello, hello.
What's up? Man, you said that better than I would have ever said, that track name.
I was watching some Formula 1 stuff and they were doing,
Okay.
you know, I can do you one better. Home of Caballo de Rampante.
Great. I don't even know what that means, but great.
Prancing horse, Ferrari.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Also known as the Temple of Speed.
I was going to say
can't
Monza.
remember can't remember the Italian translation for that. But, no, looking here tonight, it's only 60, or I say tonight, but it is morning here, I believe. 66 degrees, 81% humidity. We had a chance of rain. However, it appears the rain has not come. We are in qualifying now. These guys have, just a little bit left here. And for some reason, SDK's acting up a little bit here. I'm going to try and turn it off and back on. Oh, we have some. Let me try this. Well, it's illegible right now, and let's try. I'll reload the overlay. Maybe it'll fix itself here while we're in qualifying. Pulling up Mason right now. Right,
Ooh, Jonathan to the top. How about that? Best lap of the day.
47.8. So that's moving around here pretty good.
Oh, and he was, what do we got? 5th in practice, too. So big improvement.
Yeah, probably.
Half a second, too. Maybe a little less.
now that you can watch qualifying lines and everything with some of the new updates, that maybe taking a little page and holding off on putting in his fastest lap until it is time to do the business. But looking here at from the cockpit of the, so what I'm seeing here is first and second in the McLaren. Then you have Justin Munsell here in third overall in the Ford.
But that.
And then it is the McLaren of Ricky, the McLaren of Peterson, and Michael there in the other McLaren, and then Nathan Nickerson in the Porsche, oddly enough, was not be my first choice for here. As Nathan gets over Michael there.
Well, what's interesting, especially if I'm looking at Justin Munsell's lap, when I ran my one-off last season, it was in the Ford at this racetrack, and seeing that big of a lap just from this car, to me, at least to me, what I thought was a car not fit well for this track. I was not a big fan of how it drove, how weird it was to get back on the throttle. Some of the braking was a little weird, and even the steering was a bit twitchy, but still, that's a really impressive lap.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, with a 47.8, that's... You have to hit all your marks just about perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And, here at Monza, that means taking a lot of the curbs into turn one. But also, if you notice, Munsell here, that's put our Ricky division up into the, it's going to be out of order now. But, we're 5 races in, so next week, most of those rookies should drop off. I think we may have 1 or 2 that started in the second or third race of the season, but they should all be there. We got about another minute or so left here. Check out Mark Gonzalez and the Hooters Ferrari.
That's a car that you'll never miss.
No.
Oh, there he goes wide a little bit. Whoa.
But currently, Mark's the fastest in silver.
Oh my. Oof.
Hey, that move looks a little familiar. Was it, who did it? Was it James Pierce that did that into the pit lane at, was it Barcelona, I think, a couple seasons ago?
Well, that's a move that
lost his qualifying lap and just sent it into the pit wall.
That's a move I've done plenty of times when I've qualified at like Watkins Glen plenty of times. I just do that into turn one, so.
Yeah, so there's only one car I'm not seeing here tonight, and that is, well, 2. There's a BMW, but big sniffer problems with that. And I don't see a I don't see a Lambo or an Audi or a Mercedes. So, but we should have qualifying results here. Come on. Oh, there we go. Here's the grid. So Schwartz taking home the pole here tonight with a 147.880. Mason Smith a 10th off in second. And third is your rookie Justin Munsell, half a second off the pace of these front 2 runners here. Ricky Renner, your top gold there, will be starting in 4th. Jack Peterson in 5th. Nathan Sides in 6th. 7th will be Nathan Nickerson. 8th will be Michael. And let's see, is this going to play nice? Yes, it is. Wait, no. There we go. And 9th will be Mark Gonzalez. 10th will be James Molyneux. 11th, Alan Gullison. 12th, Nick Terrell. A little bit far back in the field for Nick. Mm-hmm. It's not the first time we've seen that here recently, but he does manage to make his way up the field. 13th, Brandon. 14th will be Josh Anderson. 15th, Tim Thompson. 16th will be Alex Jaspers. 17th, Josh Betts. William Burrell starting in 18th. Shane Theron in 19th. Bronson Stafford in 20th. John Crane in 21st, Robert Kinney in 22nd, Alexander Hamrick in 23rd, and Paul Lawson in 24th. So that being our grid here tonight, let's jump down, get the right camera here. And, no, this is going to be a night race, isn't it?
I was just about to say, I was just looking at the time before you said that, and I think we will be finishing in the night here.
I'm trying to think. I don't think...
I've never called a night race before, so that'll be fun.
It's not the best. We don't always get the. It's going to get real hard to see the cars sometimes. So that is something that we have to keep in mind. So if we do get a car wrong because we can't really see the paint job, that does happen.
Well, if I'm just trying to look at it right. It's about what, almost 6:30 in game time. So probably ending a little after 7:30, probably.
Oh, that's not supposed to pop up. Did SDK crash on my local copy? Yes, it did. Oh. Okay, that's fine. We can reboot that. Worst case, I can see the overlay there. So much easier when I only have to look at one screen rather than the four.
Welcome to my world. That's what I'm doing right now.
All right. So while I wait for that to boot back up, we'll just, because it looks like the one on the overlay or going out to the stream is correct. So congratulations, y'all get to see it right, and I gotta come up with the hacky ways.
Hey, we always have to struggle. At least the fans get a good view.
Well, I mean, looking at this view right here, I've seen multiple cars, sitting there weaving, trying to get a little temperature in the tires because, I mean, the track temp is, it's ice cold. 65-degree track temp. It's gonna take a minute to warm those tires up. And some of these cars do not like cold tires.
So basically, what you're saying is watch out for turn 1 here, because it might get wild.
Specifically the vets. I know the vets on cold tires can be lethal. The Porsche into your braking zones on cold tires can bite you a little bit. McLaren's not too bad. It's just a little plowy. But we're about to go green.
Let's do it. Here we go. Oh, what a start for Peterson. Looking to go 3 wide. He chooses otherwise, but Nathan going for the spot on the inside. Oh, he backs off barely. Oh, up the middle. 3 wide.
Primavera.
3 wide through turn 1. Oh, yeah.
Made it through. Oh, barely. Oh, Peterson. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, we see him sideways in there.
Out. Oh.
Oh, there is Gonzalez.
Oh, he has no front end on that.
Yeah, the front end on Peterson is gone. And, yeah,
how-
Gonzalez just sitting there getting back going.
So these are going to be your two biggest things. These two, guys that may have had a little bobble in qualifying, trying to make up those positions. So you can't go too wide through the second chicane there. Check into the first Lesmo here. And the second Lesmo, a little bit of drama there for the first one.
Whoa.
I believe that's going to be the Mustang of Shane Theron, maybe? Yes, I believe so. There we go. SDK's got its stuff back on my end here. Let's see. Should be going for parallel side there. The entry to a Scari. You can already see how quickly the light is fading. So you wonder how many of these guys put in a little bit of time as we check back with the leaders here. Schwartz in the lead, Mason following.
Good start for Schwartz. We'll see how long he can hold it.
Go to this and watch them come down here and see. Is Mason going to try to make a move? I mean, last time we were here, as Dom reminded me, it was a fuel strategy that won the race. So
Yeah.
sitting back here in second, might just be the call. You have to wonder how many of these drivers might have YouTube playing up on the car listening and trying to figure out if we're talking about strategies they need. I know it happens over on the Xfinity Oval side.
Big Tail getting a run on James Molyneux there. Might have something into turn 2 or 3.
Let's see how the Mystery Machine's going to fare against the Acura there.
I will say, it looks like one car did bring it into pit. Brandon Domingue brought it in.
Let's go back through. Now that everybody's kind of settled
Yeah, they're
down
kind
here
of.
just a little bit.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good.
I've got a bunch of red stuff. First one's going to be a crash out of Robert Kennedy. I think we missed this one. He's going to be in that Mustang here. Just going slow.
Mustang, I got that.
Everybody. And showing, okay, that's Josh Betts. That's Tim Thompson. These are not crashes. This is just guys going slow. Nope, same thing, same thing. So that's him avoiding Peterson and then losing it in the grass. Lost the whole front end, then iRacing decided, nope, you just need to lose the hood.
Yep. I hate that.
But hey, it left him his headlights. However, back here behind him, Peterson has no headlights. Yeah, that happens a couple more laps in the race, and getting around here at night with no headlights would not be a fun task.
No, not at all. Oh, no. Josh Betts went around as well here.
So Peterson just didn't catch. Oh, yeah, just in the middle of that sandwich there.
Looked like he had it for a few seconds and then just kind of race car doing race car things.
It's showing Ricky Renner going off track here, is it? Is that the Formula One line for penultimate corner there?
Yeah, I guess you could say so.
We'll go back in here. Schwartz last lap setting the fastest lap with a 48.18. So they're not far off quality, but as you see, these front two have they're saying bye-bye to the field. 3-second gap to Ricky.
These are...
You can see they're just about driving out of his life there.
Yeah, and I mean, these are two really fast cars. I mean, I'm looking at the points. We haven't really looked at even the schedule of the points that often, but I mean, as we currently stand, Jonathan Schwartz currently has the most wins this season, and looking to make his third and obviously his second in a row here. Mason is a driver who has won this year as well, and he's looking to get his second of the year, tie Jonathan for the most.
And over in the gold division, you have Ricky Renner leading. So, you know, we tried to tell him for a while, get rid of the Porsche. Gets rid of the Porsche, and you know, pretty handy over Braden there. And I know we've got a couple drop races. That will be a few more races in before those are factored. And then over in silver, you have Mark Gonzalez that we saw having a little trouble earlier. 81 points over Alan Gullison right now. As we look in there. And Mark's still running fourth over in silver, so look at a few of those back. And then in bronze, you have Alex Jaspers leading that division with 57 points. Lead over Joshua Betts. So if we check in on bronze, you have Molyneux currently leading that. And Jaspers in fifth in bronze currently. So bronze is stepping up the racing here just a little bit. But Mason making up some time there on Schwartz, not letting him get away.
Last lap, he was only about 15 1,000ths faster, but I mean, it's showing that he's right there, and the draft is pretty strong. So now that he's there, I would imagine, unless he's saving some fuel here early, he could make an easy sprint for the lead.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But at the same time, you know, do you just want to sit back there? You know, lift off at extra, you know, get the run up and lift off another 100 meters earlier. You know,
I mean,
save a gallon or two of fuel.
I mean, the good thing about what he's doing right now is, I mean, he could just sit back, save some fuel, and just put some pressure on Jonathan and make him make a mistake, and then that way he could do both, take the lead and save some fuel.
You know, with it being night here and the track is going to just continue cooling off, I believe. Especially with these temps. No. It's warmed up a little bit. It's 66 degrees. So.
It probably won't change that much more.
So Gonzalez, did he get into the pits or is he still missing? He's running without the hood.
Yep, he's still going.
Last lap putting in a 150.3. Have to see if he's... Ooh. Yeah, he's got some damage on that rear quarter, too.
I mean, after being in an incident and still running P16 is not the worst in the world. I mean, there's still a lot of race to go, but I mean, that's a lot to make up, so you never know.
The steering wheel's pretty straight, so maybe he got lucky. Not too much damage there.
Whoa, in front, one car just missed. That looks like Tim Thompson. He's probably got to take a slowdown there, and he'll lose a couple spots.
Let's see, I mean, obviously the Ferrari's not hurt enough to truly slow him down. 149.3.
That was a good lap.
Right here, it looks like Nathan Sod's getting ahead of Ricky. To Ricky. See if we have a replay here.
He went off a little bit in turn 2.
Okay, he must have got to slow down.
Yeah, he looks like he got, not quite. Mainly the right side of the car into the sand on the right side. That definitely lost momentum, and he lost a spot to Nathan Sides, and then it looks like Justin Munsell just powered by him a couple corners ahead.
Munsell with performances like this, I would imagine he's going to be probably solidly in gold.
Oh, yeah, easily. Doing very, very well right now.
Yeah, looking through, but really, your closest battle on the track other than your two leaders, which is right here. Munsell making the move on Sides into the braking zone. Sides divvying in just a little bit deeper.
He tried to make that outside work on the exit of turn 1 there. Not quite, but now he's got a little bit of a run here. We'll see if he decides to make a move coming up here into turn 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Ricky, you're just sitting there going,
he's thinking about it.
I'm going to let him do it.
He's going for it.
Get the Mustang turned in.
Oh, not quite.
Now here comes Ricky. Be close enough to launch it into the first Lesmo.
And he thought about it, but not quite.
Going too wide through the Lesmos will slow you down a lot as well.
Well, I mean, it did slow down Munsell and Sides a lot there and turn that little chicane, but I mean, they made it work, so.
Then back here, remember where? So Nick Terrell already up 6 positions here.
Great stuff, and he's putting down good laps too.
Yeah, 149.3 last time, so he's right there with Nathan Sides as far as pace.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Nathan Sides' best lap was a 148, basically a 148 flat. Meanwhile, Nick Terrell ran a 148.7, but he doesn't really have anybody in front. He's got a little bit of cars to go. We'll see if he can set some faster laps, and we'll see what he sets as he passes the line. 49.3, so not much change, but still pretty good.
But, I mean, he's still making moves that last lap. Got past both Molyneux and Gullison. So, we'll have to see here the gap, 1.6 to the back of Ricky. Keep an eye on that. See how that looks there. Swap our time.
Oh, Sides and Munsell side by side here once again as they're going to enter turn 4. We'll see what they do and what Ricky will do. Does anybody give up the spot? Neither of them do.
Let's do it.
Good stuff.
Ricky's got to run.
Oh, but he's not going to take it.
That's just going to bring Nick into this battle. Which,
yeah.
I'm sorry, you don't. You don't want to bring Nick.
That.
Like, play nice for a little while longer. Don't bring a platinum driver into your gold battle because it's not going to be pretty.
Well, for being side by side, good job by Justin Munsell.
Lights.
Yeah, he's trying. I don't know if that'll work.
It's like Carl flashing Audi back in the day.
He's trying to distract him here.
As far as I know, there's no core rule against flashing another opponent. You know, depending on how bad it gets, we might have to have an admin meeting later on it. But you know, if you're gonna race, you know, you've got all the tools in the toolbox. Use which ones are legal.
Exactly, they're there at your disposal.
showing a little off track here for Hamrick. Let's see what happened to him.
Oh,
That's a Porsche. That's not the right choice here.
and also just to mention, Mark Gonzalez just went off the racetrack once again. Damage to the right side of his car.
Ooh. Although that is coming out of a Scari, I believe, so he'll likely go straight to the pit lane on that one.
And he hit the guardrail too, so that definitely doesn't help. There's sparks coming out from the bottom. And he stays out. So, I mean...
We'll see what old No-Show Jones has for us.
I mean, he's still running pretty good in 14th, which isn't the worst in the world.
I mean, you still got this battle right here. I mean, Jonathan and Mason, they're checking out together. They're playing nice for the moment.
Oh, they're gone. Oh, yeah.
This is a race that'll be solved in the pits and in the last lap or two. Both of them are smart enough. They're going
Ricky running a little wide there on the exit of Lesmo too.
I was going to say, Munsell and Sides haven't gotten away from each other yet.
Nah. Yeah. I mean, this is what's crazy to me about GT racing. Is in no world should that Mustang and that Acura be as close as they are on track together. Yeah, I mean, as much as they say this is a production-based class, there's a whole lot done to these cars to make them even and able to compete.
I mean, typically the Mustang is the king of speed, and then the Acura is king of corners, but looks like they're both working pretty well together here.
Oh, if you're a good enough driver, I've seen some guys hustle that Mustang through the corners. It's pretty good about bouncing over curves.
Not me. I couldn't figure that car out for the life of me.
It has its moments with me, like little brilliant flashes followed by some, last time I tested it for Daytona, I think in about 10 laps I cooked the rear tires to the point
Oh,
where
yeah.
it was not fun anymore.
Well, the unfortunate thing about the time I was racing the Mustang last season in my one-off, I mean, I'm from the oval side. I'm either changing 4 tires, 2 tires, or no tires, but not that I learned in road course racing that sometimes you could change 1 or 2 tires. And I didn't even know that was a thing. Or 3. I didn't know that was a thing, so that kind of screwed up my whole strategy, so... I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue how
making a move on Ricky. Yep, thinking about it, thought better. But that's also brought Nathan Nickerson in the Porsche right onto the back of Nick.
Oh, this 3rd place to, 7th place can not quite throw under a blanket yet, but in a few laps, if it could get that way.
They're under 3 seconds, and it's one of those things where, if Nick has to defend from Nathan, that'll allow Ricky to catch back up to Nathan and just Jesus. We have too many ends here.
And even looking through the field, another solid battle right now. Bronson Stafford, William Burrow, and Shane Therian all have made up quite a bit of spots from qualifying. Stafford's up 9 spots, Burrow's up 6, and Therian is up 6. So good running for them in 11th, 12th, and 13th after starting 18, 19, 20th. And they're all within about a second, so good run for these guys too.
Your top 3 still running in their original starting order. Yeah, the only other people still in their original spot is Nathan Nickerson, James Molyneux, and Paul Lawson, who's apparently did not take the start of their years. Yeah, just checking back in with Jonathan and Mason, like you're going to see for the rest of tonight.
I wouldn't
you
expect
can throw a
much.
blanket over them.
We'll just wait till they pit.
These two, it reminds me of, so a while back, I think it was our 2nd season of GT, you had Mason, Carl, Mark Thomas, and Nick Nickerson. Those 4 would run the race and all be within 2 or 3 tenths the entire race. This was back when you had to double stint tires because you couldn't take fuel and tires at the same time. So it was a game of, who could stay close while saving their tires and then make a break for it at the end.
Well, we'll see what these guys do. Obviously, Mason's saving some fuel, but how much are they saving tire-wise? That I have no idea. We'll see. Some of these guys might stay out a lap longer than others. I mean, never seen it every week.
Don, correct me if I'm wrong, but down at 66-degree track, if you're trying to start saving a lot of fuel, you can almost get to the point where the tires get a little too chilly.
I mean, yeah, depending on how much you're turning the steering wheel, because that's where the heat really comes from, right? Is going in and out of the corners. So there's a lot of straights here for the tires to cool down. Whether iRacing simulates that or it's yet to be determined, but. I'm sure once we get the new tire models next season for GT3 cars, you can actually, determine how well the tires work in the cold. But typically, the tire wear is significantly less, and you can fuel save a lot more and push harder.
Yeah, it's amazing if you actually take care of the tires. Like on Tuesday night, a bunch of the guys were just burning the tires off the Xfinity car. I came in for the first pit stop, and I was like, I'm going to try to save a set. Check the tire wear, it was like 93% and 96%. I heard guys saying they were already down in the 70s, and I was like, okay. All right, we might be onto something.
Well, again, I mean, it's different on the oval. Even though I wasn't there on Tuesday night, I have raced Iowa a couple times, and man, sometimes, I mean, this is how I am when it comes to tire strategy. It's that sometimes when you think you're saving, you're really not, and then the times you don't plan on saving, you actually are. And it's kind of difficult to know, like, if you have been saving for a while and you're like, okay, I think I should start pushing now. And then when you start pushing, you feel exactly the same. So, I mean, sometimes you don't know what your tires are doing, and that's just ovals. It's all over the place.
Yeah, and sometimes it really is just a temperature deal. It's nothing more, nothing less. The wear is not the problem. It's how much heat you put in.
Ooh, Justin Munsell bringing it into the pits now, right here.
So we are 20 minutes in.
That's
Nathan in as well.
But
So
Munsell was
Alan.
leading that pack for a while.
Big turbo for the move into turn one.
Let's keep going.
Ricky
I
letting him
mean,
go.
James Molyneux is in pit road, and he has been leading a pack too for a while too. Not even a pack; he's been more by himself, but still.
I'm
lot of
seeing
guys
a
in.
theme here. All the Mustangs, I'm guessing it's just like real life. There's not a gas station that they won't pass.
Interesting.
I mean, maybe that Ford V8 just a little on the thirsty side. Because really, it's the McLarens that have been able to stay out.
How long is the question?
And there's you another one. Now, Jack Peterson did come in, but
Should just be one more lap.
I'm going to focus on the leaders here, Jonathan and Mason, see what they decide to do here. Jonathan is known to stay out a lap or two longer, so at least that's the way I see him when he comes to fuel strategy. I'll see what he does here.
But if Mason's been doing his job right, I think if Jonathan's managed to stretch it one lap over what normal just all-out pace would do in the draft, you think Mason could save one extra?
I don't know. I mean, last season we were here, Mason was kind of struggling on the pace, trying to keep up with pace and fuel save. I'm sure that he's gotten that narrowed down now. Looks like they're both coming in, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, it's really close. You'd have to have significant pace advantage over the car in front of you to really stretch it those extra 2 laps. As long as you pit with the car that you're battling, it should be fine.
We'll have to see here.
Looks like everybody did bring it in, so this is the last pit stop. So now I'll look at Justin Munsell to see where he cycles out, because he was the first one to bring it in.
See, they are definitely taking some tires. Mason getting down off before.
Mason is gone, yeah.
I think John might have taken one extra tire than he should have there.
Either that, or did Mason save a little bit of fuel?
I mean, I would more predict John to come off the jacks earlier, but he stayed on that extra time. It looks like it was for that extra time.
22 seconds. That's all 4.
Yeah.
I mean, that's he gave Mason a 3.8 second gap.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard to run down over a fuel stint.
If John has, doesn't have the pace to catch him, because through last season and as we've seen a little bit this season, John does have the pace advantage over Mason slightly. So we'll see. Along with the fuel saving, I don't know.
Yeah, well, now if these guys are doing 12 laps to a stint, if you want to close down, it's a 4-second gap currently. 4 seconds over 12 laps. That's at least 0.3 of the hair, 0.33 a lap. Is that right?
I think so. I think that math checked out.
Now here's my question. How will this affect the last pit stop? Now that these guys kind of did the opposite, now what will they do on the last stop of the race?
I'll say at this point.
Well, the guys who pit later, they'll take less on that last stop. Even less than, about 2 laps less than you should be if you pit a lap earlier than the leaders. Then you'll take 1 lap less, I think. Yeah, I think that's tracking.
Now I'll be curious to see if Jonathan has the pace and see if he can actually run down Mason here.
John will definitely be pushing a lot more.
0.3. I mean, which for Mason that'll help because it's hard to fuel. It's going to be very hard to fuel save and have pace on Mason.
Yeah.
And a little mistake there coming out of the second corner there out of Schwartz. Yeah, that cost him 0.4 right there. And the crazy thing is that could be what decides this entire race. One mistake like that keeps you 0.4 away.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
You see here Nick Terrell coming out of the pits still ahead of Ricky.
We'll note something. Nathan Sides must have had something poor go on because he's now down barely inside the top 10.
30.7 second pit time. I'm wondering if Nathan maybe had a little bit of damage somewhere that he decided to get fixed. Because 30 seconds, that's long even for 4 tires and not a full tank, but as much as we can take here, 50% tank load.
I mean, look at the difference. Justin is about 12 seconds back from the leaders, and Nathan is a little over 24 seconds. So clearly, a huge amount of time was lost there.
Yeah, I mean Now the interesting thing is Michael here, fastest in the pit lane, 1688. He stopped in the box. So that's almost a second faster than everyone else. You think maybe Michael taking a little less fuel, trying to do a little... That'd just be weird, though.
No, I mean, Michael, Ricky, and Justin, they're all pit in and pit out, all within like 0.4 there, so I don't think it's that spread apart. But
Well, like the difference, so pit lane time for Michael, 42.7. Pit lane time for Ricky, 44.43. I mean, so that's a second and a half. Just 43 would be that, and yeah, about another half. Or a little more than a half, 1.6. So that's going to be getting into pit lane a little harder and getting...
oh, well, they'll say Ricky at 39.5, okay.
Looking at that gap slowly closing down between Nick and Justin.
How about Nick? Good.
Because there's no like 10-second pit penalty that I can think of. Is there, Dom?
No, there's...
The closest thing I can think is
15, a stop and go, 25 seconds, and a drive-through.
and I can't think of what triggers a 15-second without a caution.
I don't know.
No, it'll just be a stop, but you can't do the stopping. If Nathan finds his way back up to the front, we'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
It's not in his pit. It's just maybe he had to sneeze or change a wheel out in pit lane.
Big Terrell right here on the bumper. What does he do?
I will say
Goes
that
to the outside.
McLaren drafts like no other, especially off the big rear end of that Mustang. Nick,
Get the spot. Oh boy! Oh, the
crossover.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna be enough though.
Well, that's the other thing is he's holding the inside. He's going to make that Mustang take the long way around the outside.
Yeah.
A really long way.
Now
he's covering it all.
To the inside he goes. He's gonna outbrake Justin here. He gets it. How about that?
Wow.
Good. Wow, what a corner. And now here comes Ricky.
Cleaning up.
Yeah, I think Justin there had a little bit of a bobble coming out.
He took such a shallow line on the outside that he just couldn't get the runner on the exit, so it just opened it right up for Ricky.
Oh yeah, the little track map. You know. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting things.
Track map. Woohoo. Let me look at Mason and Jonathan here. Last lap, Jonathan was about a tenth quicker. See if he's about any quicker this lap. Yeah. Wow. A lot faster. About 4 times faster. Almost 5. Gaps down to a little under 3.5 seconds, too.
So yeah, last lap 48.2 versus 48.6. Let's see what that looks like there. From John's point of view, I mean, he can see his target ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that definitely makes it a lot easier. You know, if you can see the guy ahead of you, you know you're getting closer. When it's just a number you're looking at, trying to make it smaller, the drive to try to really get it down there is not as easy for these guys.
Here's a question I'm going to throw to Dom here. As these guys are running and Jonathan is starting to get close to Mason, at about what point would you say Jonathan can get to where he will start to get Mason's drafts? What would you say? Maybe about 7-8 tenths of a second?
7-8 tenths is when you're solidly in the draft. Like, that's when you're definitely in the draft. You're actually getting, extra speed from it. But the draft actually extends to about a second and 1.1 seconds, I should say.
Okay.
It's actually, you can get the draft from all the way back there, but you really don't start to feel it until, like you said, it's 7-8 tenths is when you're really actually in the draft and gaining time with it.
Alright, well, I'm going to guess he made a little bit of a gain here once again, now that I'm on board.
Yeah, that gap now down to 2.8.
Yeah, so that was almost another half a second faster. A little over half a second, I should say. So last 2 laps, very good.
Showing a little bit of an issue here for Josh Betts. It says, does he jump to the pits?
He just parks it in the sand. Yeah. Too much.
Off track for Hamrick here. What happened this time? Oh! Out there in the kitty litter.
Just a little bit. That's alright.
But right here, where you have all the headlights, we can actually kind of see some paint jobs for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Kicking, yeah, you can see where all the debris is moving on the track. through those. But Nick getting all the way up to third, 9 spots up from where he started.
Well done.
But you know, Ricky keeping that gap there within that second, still going to get the sniff of the draft, and you can see, so they're 0.7 away from each other starting down the straight here, and it lets him pull up about a 10th. And Nick a little faster through the penultimate corner there. But at 0.8, it's like Ricky can slowly suck up.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Dom. Somewhere around that 0.7, it really starts to pile on. So if you're Nick there, you're going to want to try to break that gap just that little bit harder. Kind of surprised you don't see maybe Nikki and or sorry, not Nikki, Ricky and Nick maybe try to work together. A little bump drafting might get you a pretty good ways here.
Nick's probably on a mission now that he's made up all these spots. He just wants to get as far away as he can.
Showing Mason going off track here. Just a little touch of the gravel there.
He was about 0.3 faster than Jonathan this past lap.
This is interesting. These Mark Gonzalez and Bronson Stafford going at it here. And that's going to be, yep, the Hooters Ferrari going to come out the top of that one.
Solid recovery.
Crash for Josh Anderson. Is this what happened here? Oh.
Well, he went a little wide in turn 1.
Now I know that's a slowdown.
That's just a little bit.
Interesting line. I think that might be the Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Nick's starting to stretch out the gap on Ricky here a little bit as well.
Let's see if I can have no, because they're perfect Jen asking, is that Dom talking? Yes, it is. But I guess you can get a fan out there, Dom.
Sorry, say again. My brain is still braining at the moment.
I had somebody in the YouTube chat asking if that's Dom talking. Someone named Perfect Jen.
I guess.
Now you're going through everybody you think of going, who do I know named Jen?
Yeah, I'm going through my head.
Mark Gonzalez catching the back of James Walden here. James running in first in the bronze division. So Gonzalez making his way back up to second so far after that early incident.
Another solid recovery. Chooses not to make the move here in this chicane.
Yeah, it's one of those. You got to get the. Ooh, little slide out of the Ferrari there.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Looks like Ricky has. That's Justin Munsell who's caught up to the back of Ricky now.
Speaking of Munsell, we should be seeing guys go on pit road here probably within the next
Well, it should be lap
3 to 5. Yeah, 3 to 5 laps. So Munsell will most likely be the first one in once again. Then we'll see everybody else, unless anybody decided to save some fuel this run and push it, but I doubt.
Munzel's coming in on this lap. Well, no, it's going to be... it'll be
Yeah,
next
probably
lap.
next
Okay.
lap.
Yeah, I was like, otherwise, he's going to be real close to needing a third pit stop. I mean, it is Monza. It is... I think out of all the courses we're going to this season, it is likely the most on throttle time.
He's trying to do a little bit of bump
Le Mans
drafting
is
here
next
with
week.
Ricky.
Is it? Oh, Le Mans next week? Yep. I see that. Yeah, well, I have to wonder, though, percentage of the lap. Is Le Mans going to be higher?
I would think so.
I mean, you got a longer lap, so I know each lap you're going to burn more fuel.
Yeah. I think at Le Mans you burn, I think it's 2 gallons, 2 or 3 gallons a day.
Yeah, because there's only 1 or 2 little spots you have to feather the throttle at all.
Yeah, it's mainly full out for half the lap.
Yeah.
You take a little break in all 3 chicanes,
Munzel's
but
all over the back. Ricky, they're going to take a look here into turn 1.
Ricky giving him that one a little bit, I think, maybe.
Ricky's going to hold it
Just
around
he
the
lifted.
outside.
Oh,
Yep, crossed over.
Barely. Nice.
Made Ricky have to lift there a little bit, pulling out some of the Senna tricks. It's like, well, we can both go for the space, but if you keep it there, we're going to have an accident. But Ricky definitely not letting just run away with it either.
I think at some point one of these drivers is going to have to sit behind one another and just... they should be coming into the pit this lap, so I would just give it to him.
So at this point though, if you're Nick, you've got 3 seconds behind you. You got 12 seconds ahead of you. That's just one of those not so fun spots to be in. I mean, I'm sure Nick's got to be ecstatic about being in third, but not having anybody to race with 20 minutes left to go in the dark at Monza. That's when the silly mistakes come and bite you. Watching this time by is okay. Schwartz taking a little bit of a more inside line through the final corner there. I thought he might be dipping into the pits for a split second.
Let's see if Munzel decides to bring it in this lap. He sure does.
And right at 40 minutes. So, with that being
He's
said,
sped in the pit lane there, that might be a penalty. Looks like it's not. He got lucky on that.
Okay.
let's see here. You got
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm just trying to see. Boy, he sure did cut it close.
He was about 9-10 over.
Yeah, if you drop down as soon as you go in, sometimes it'll give it to you.
Right as his front bumper crosses the pit entry line, he's about 8 miles an hour over. So, whew, good break.
SDK is back to its optimistic tracking of off tracks, saying Mason Smith has wrecked up 24 of them so far. And considering no one has served a drive through, it's off again. Oh, it's Michael Smith. Okay. Nice to see you too. Let's check out and see where Michael has gotten himself off to.
I'm Michael's wife. How are we doing? Give a shout out. Let's see, how is he doing?
Rockstar McLaren there. Running
P13,
in
not
ninth
bad.
overall, but he has stopped. And some of these other guys haven't, so we'll have to see how he shakes out there after we... That running fourth in gold, which, with the level of these drivers now, that's still a achievement.
By the way, it looks like everybody has stayed out another lap here.
So they're getting 13?
Looks like it.
Yeah, and
if
there's
anybody-
going to be some lap traffic they're going to contend with there.
Yeah.
And that right there, you know, for someone like Munsell. Munsell has no traffic. There's nobody in front of him. But Ricky going that extra lap, he doesn't really. Nick doesn't have anybody right now. Well, I thought we saw some lap traffic a second ago. I guess they already. It's right there.
Nah, they
No,
got
that's
by.
Okay. So James Molyneux in the pits this time by. So he's 24. So that would mean, yep. So yeah, that means Mason, Jonathan, Nick, Ricky, all these guys getting 13 laps this go round. I guess maybe they're close enough that it's that half a pace lap. The difference between making 12 and 13.
Yeah, and it looks like Mason, yep, he's bringing it in. So is Jonathan. Make up as much time as he can on pit entry. Whew. Goodness gracious. Actually, no, he wasn't that close. That looked like he was. But he still did.
Yeah, a lot of the times in these races in particular, when you are running on fixed set with, you know, lower fuel, the difference between going that extra 2 laps is really the pace lap. Because you burn about, if it's a full pace lap, you burn a full lap of fuel. Possibly if you're, you know, not in 6th gear and running really slow or anything like that.
Pretty good stop by Jonathan.
Yeah, that was a good stop. He's going to come out just behind the second.
Now's the time. Now he's really going to have to. Now he's got to push
15-2.
it. Now it's time to push. Now let's see how much speed Jonathan really has.
Yeah, was that pace of Jonathan trying to save fuel so that he could cut that gap down a little bit, taking a little less fuel than Mason?
Very possible.
Yeah, the last lap, though, Mason with a 153.4. Now, that is their pit lap, but 152.2 for John. So, pit lane time. I think he just attacked the entry of the pits just a lot harder than Mason. I think that's going to be where a big chunk of that came out.
Because it looks like when they brought it down pit road initially, the last lap, Jonathan was about 2.8 seconds back, and then when they crossed the line on pit lane, he was only about 2 seconds back. So he definitely gained a lot of time.
I'll tell you the big one right here. Nick Terrell, 153.14 for his last lap, the same pit as them. 152.2 for Jonathan. They both were in the pit box for 14.7 seconds. So that is entirely, and their pit lane time 14.9 versus a 14.8. So that's mostly in that in lap and probably attacking the pit entry just a little harder.
And I will also point out, Justin Munsell, who brought it down pit road early, did not seem like he gained anything from pitting early.
No, if anything else, he's 2 seconds off the back of Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a 38 stop and Ricky had a 35.
Yeah,
That was
Ricky
tough.
13 second, 13.9 in the pits, in the box, 17.2 for Justin there. So 3 seconds.
A lot of time lost.
Yeah.
And it's
And
down to
that's
under
the-
a second
a
and a
couple
half
laps of
between the
fuel.
leaders.
That's just a couple laps of fuel difference right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, there we go. Checking back in with Michael after the everybody phased out. 2 positions from a start there in 6th place. So definitely a good showing here tonight for him. Pull back our overall results over there. A little bit, so it's picking up my voice a little bit. Let's see. But that gap, Mason managing to keep John right at 1.5 seconds back there. And that's going to be out of the draft. But that also means 1 mistake out of Mason. And it'll have him right on the back door.
And, I mean, anything could happen. I mean, he's depending on what your SDK says, I'm sure he's gone off track a couple of times here, so we'll see. And back to that draft that we talked about earlier, I mean, Jonathan is right there, so just a couple more solid laps here, he'll be there. And I mean, Mason's got a couple lap cars in the distance as well.
Looks like we have a crash here for William Burrell. Let's see, going down into one. Oh, it looks like a brake failure.
Interesting.
But he does the correct, goes through the bollards and continues on.
Makes it through turn 1 this lap, so good there. Last lap, Jonathan about another 10th faster than Mason.
Let's see here. Let's check with one of our Canadian drivers here. Bronson Stafford, largest leader or gainer of the night here, up 10 spots. You know, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, running his fastest lap of a 1:49.7. Yeah, the guys right around him, you know, some of the guys behind him a little faster, but not necessarily. It could be just consistency. Peterson is 3 seconds behind him after his early woes. He's running about a second a lap faster. He'll probably catch Bronson before the end of this one. Checking with our other Canadian here, Alex Jaspers. Not in the Nuka-Cola Porsche here tonight, but in a McLaren. It is the popular choice for the draft. Back in here with Mason. Looks like Mason may have caught the crane in that last lap.
Short's running wide there at permanently.
You know, if you run wide enough there, you can get a slowdown.
I think you just got left it there.
Yeah, I think that's just an off track. It's more if you stay out there after the corner kind of ends that you get that. But that little bit costing him gap still. Let's see if we can 1.3. So making up a little bit of time on Mason, but not a ton.
Be catching some back markers here, so it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how Mason can wiggle his way through this without losing too much time.
And then this is not exactly where you want to catch the lap cars through the Lesmos. If he gets it right, catches them on the exit, and can get a good draft, that can help him. But if he's
going to catch a little scary.
yeah, that's going to kind of make him a sitting duck coming out. Let's see. It doesn't look like he's being held up too much. Going for the sniff of... That's proper use of some headlights. Maintaining that gap, though.
Got the little draft of the lap car too, so that'll definitely help.
Yeah, but now you have Schwartz here. He's got the draft of...
Oof. That was a little close. Just big descend into turn 1.
Schwartz really on those brakes took about 4/10 out on the entry, but looked like Mason maybe had not quite as good of an exit. But in front of them you have is that now?
Oh, that's unfortunate for Mason there.
Yeah. Brandon there Giving Mason a little bit of a brown pants moment.
Oh, Jonathan, a little loose off the exit of that corner there. Oh, and Mason almost.
Yeah, Mason had to get around the 21 there of William Burrell.
Hopefully William gets out of the way here before Jonathan gets there. Don't look like it.
But I think Jonathan's going to catch him literally into the braking zone of the Scari.
Oh, that's a terrible spot.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do there. You can't. If you try to go too wide through a Scari, you will be massively slow coming out of there. But having to compromise Jonathan's line on the end there. Don't give anything to Mason coming through the exit.
Could definitely
At this
help.
point,
I mean,
you know, 7/10 back there. Are you going to start trying to do the serpentine, break the draft dom, or just is that going to slow you down too much overall?
Nah, I mean, you can probably do it a little bit at the start, but wouldn't want to do that, you know, all the way down the straight. Like you said, it would just slow you down too much.
Gap down to half a second. Looking here, a little bit of a gap before they're going to catch the 79 of Josh Anderson there. So they have lapped up to 17th. Josh is next on the menu in 16th. Considering the entire field, their last laps all in that kind of 59, 50 second range for the most part. That's going to be mistakes at this point. Yeah, that's going to be your difference. It's consistency.
oh, Jonathan wide a little bit there.
Too much juice into second Lesmo.
He's trying to get everything out of it, but that's going to take him back out of the draft range there.
Mm-hmm.
And as hard as we saw him, ooh, that was a whole lot of curve. Is that going to be a slowdown?
You can eat quite a bit of the inside curb.
Okay. But as much as we see him taking up in the braking zone on Mason there, is that something where he may be taking too much out of those front tires? And when by the time he's made up that gap and tries to make a move at the end, he won't have anything left for it.
I mean, there's always a chance. We don't know what type of tires, you know, John took on his first stop. Can't take really any on your second stop. So, well, I guess on his first stop we did see him take all tires. So he has fresh tires for this stint, but how much he's been pushing on them since that second
with a
pit stop
14-second stop,
you know.
you can get away with what, 2 maybe?
No, I mean it's really one. If you've gone that extra lap and you are gone an extra lap again, you can really only take one. It'd be a gamble to take 2, but after you taking 4 tires on your first stop, it wouldn't be necessary for you to take any on your second stop.
True. Especially
with
the track.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Back through here, yep, that gap slowly coming down under a second now. But finally, after that last pit phase, though, we've broken it up. Ricky pulling away from Justin there. And Nick has pulled away from Ricky. Nathan Sides back here after that long pit. Last time only 14, so no drama through it this time.
Stafford and Peterson going at it into turn 1.
There we go. That would be a good battle here. Peterson all over the bumper of that Mustang through the braking zone.
Yeah.
The initial part of the corner. It's one of those things, like, if you have that kind of pace in somebody, you're looking at their last laps, they're right there. I mean, how nervous are you, Dom, when you're coming up on somebody that you know you're faster than? Like, how close do you let it get in the braking zone?
Well, typically when you know that you can brake later than somebody, you try to anticipate the braking, or even lift to try to anticipate that braking. If you know you have the overall pace advantage over somebody, and you know a corner that you're good at, and you know how to take properly, you just try and set yourself up for that corner, so get as close as possible, and then wait until that corner. So I'd assume he's not going to go for anything here to Ascari, but into Parabolica he can set up for a good exit.
You said okay.
He threw the dummy though. He threw it, and Stanford fell for it. But he didn't have such a good exit there, so.
Yeah, but taking that line, Stafford's gonna have a slowdown. It may have served it enough with the.
Yeah.
Ever since iRacing updated, it's a lot more generous when you do wind up going offline like that. It's not faster.
Yeah.
You know, but it used to be if you got pushed outside, you'd do it, you'd be 3 seconds off pace, and then you'd still have a 2-second slowdown. Maybe seriously.
I mean, I wasn't expecting Peterson to throw that dummy there, but it really worked out for him. Really good.
Well, the gap is close. It's close between the top two now, and there's a lap car in front of Mason. Will he let him go? He will. But can Jonathan get by?
Mason got the correct entry line.
Yeah,
where
he's gonna have a better exit.
Let's see, are we on the white yet? Let's see, where's Barney?
Should be white now.
I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. Not yet. I didn't see him. Probably next lap.
Yeah, I don't have a Barney cam here.
Oh, big send by Jonathan. He's on the bumper.
I think Mason's just a little better out of that corner. If Jonathan wants to use turn one, he's gonna have to do it. He's gonna have to do it in the braking phase.
He's really got to focus on the exits because he's doing it really well on the straightaways. Get off this corner, pretty even.
It's one of those things you have to use.
Oh, a little wide.
That's going to be an off track for Schwartz there.
Oh, Mason. Oh, man.
Now, here's the thing. They're 17 seconds ahead of Nick.
Oh, yeah.
What's your battle? But I've seen both of them run off into that gravel multiple times, and I know that's an off track. You know, SDK is telling me 33 for Mason and 24 for Schwartz, which I know is not going to be the truth, but, you know, if they're sitting on 12, 13, 14, you know, you have to be careful here at the end because
could be interesting, but he got a really good runoff, and Mason's going to take the inside defensive line, try to take it away. He's there. He could send it if he wants. Oh, whoa, big send!
I think that's a little too much.
Yeah, that was completely unnecessary for that one. Good job on Mason predicting that and throwing a switchback.
Oh, is that it?
That's checkered, yeah.
Yep.
That is checkered. Wow.
I knew it was going to be the last lap because it was only 30 seconds left when they crossed the line, so.
Hey, I give him props. Good try.
I mean, you got to try something at that point. But
I respect it. On an oval side, we would have easily done that. That was great.
On the oval side, you'd have gone across that line sideways. Like.
Oh my God, yeah. We probably would have.
Did you see Xfinity from Tuesday night?
I did.
Mettler
That stuff. That was good. That was good stuff.
I think the only reason Mettler won is he kept his foot in it.
Yeah, it was.
While sideways.
Good stuff.
Munsell already finished. There's Michael coming in 6th overall, 2nd in the gold. So nice recovery drive there. Nathan Nickerson in 3rd over there. And then Nathan Sides. That's, you know, I kind of want to drag Nathan in just to be like, what happened?
Unfortunately, gents, I cannot stick around for the interviews.
Well, hey, we appreciate
I just barely made it through the race, but.
Well, feel better, and I believe you said you're going to be racing next week, right?
Yes, I'm gonna try and make it. Depending if I can feel a little better next week, but hopefully I can try and make it for Le Mans. It's one of my favorite tracks, so hopefully I can be out there.
I mean, boring to me, but hey, you do you, and it'd be nice to see you back out on track.
Yes, thank you. You guys have a good night.
All right, let's let these guys do their thing. but we don't have the results yet. But I can pull in. That's going to be Alex Jaspers taking home the bronze win, it appears. What happened to James Molyneux coming in back there? Oh, in the pits for 2 minutes. He must have had a little accident that I missed. So let's see here.
Actually, he just parked it.
Ah. Well, real quick, we'll pull.
Well,
Hey.
actually, no. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong lap. Never mind.
All right, we're going to pull Alex in here real quick. Alex, this is John and Tyler in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I got a copy there, John.
So, we noticed you kind of won bronze there. It looks like
Yeah,
James pulled off or had some issues.
He, not like this, man. I got to give it to him. He had a heck of a race. He was way more pace than I had the whole race. And he was doing phenomenal there. And he just had he was saying a lapse of judgment and just full speed straight into the dirt.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
just saw the replay. Wow.
Yeah, lapse of judgment and just, yeah, at these kind of speeds in this kind of racing, so it'll take sometimes, but I'll take the win for the bronze, I guess. Would have liked to see James up here, obviously, but points are points, right?
Unfortunately, we have a saying for that here in Core. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, that is the saying. That is the saying. Yeah, the old McLaren there. I'm not sure. I didn't really have the pace. After my spin out there, I was driving angry the whole time, trying to catch up. And
Yeah, the McLaren doesn't really like to be driven angry. It likes a nice subtle hand on the wheel.
yeah, we weren't very subtle sometimes. But all in all, not a terrible race there. Crawled back up again for the bronze division win again, and we'll take it.
All right. Anybody want to give a shout out to on that 117 before we let you guys celebrate?
Well, gotta give a shout out, obviously, you guys up in the booth there again. You guys, again, every week I like to watch back the replays there, and you guys are pretty awesome all the time. Family again, they're always watching me race every week here again. And then gotta give a shout out to James there. He had such a good race, and hate to see it like that, but racing's racing. So
Yeah, take them when you can get them, but we'll hopefully see you next week there at not Monza. That's where we're at tonight. It's
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
There you go.
A bunch of Ford versus Ferrari stuff came across my feed earlier today, so I was like, wait, I know this.
actually, I've got no experience at Le Mans, so we'll have to do some practice.
It's a whole lot of your right foot down, followed by sketchy braking zones and the Ford corner, so have fun.
Sounds fun.
All right, we'll let you go. All right. That was Alex, our winner in the bronze division. So now let's find our, I guess, rookie is going to be Justin Muntz. Let's see if he is. I do not see him in the thing, so we will move on from there and find our silver, which is going to be Alan Gullison. I see him right here. Pull Alan in here. Alan, this is Tyler and John in the booth. You get a copy.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, doing all right, but it looks like you managed to pull home the win here in silver tonight. Held off Mark Gonzalez after his early incident, and it seems like he was trying to run you back down for a while.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for him. I got lucky with that one, especially because of the fact that he had, I think, the fastest time in practice, and he also had a really good time in qualifying. So, that made me kind of nervous, obviously, going into the race. Obviously, I didn't want him to crash. It would have been better if he didn't crash, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, you did what you needed to do. Kind of thought when we saw you promoted up to silver there that it would be one of those things we might not see you in the division win for a little while, but definitely you've been putting in the work, and it showed tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I didn't think I was going to be this high up in silver either, to be honest. I think obviously not having Brady Carlson or Jack Stoneman in silver, I think helps because those guys are super fast, but I'll take it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I'm not down there with you. I could make it interesting.
But yeah, it was a fun race. I just tried to, maintain my pace, just keep a really consistent lap time, and obviously not, make any mistakes, any major mistakes. Anyway, I had two slowdowns, unfortunately. Just cut the chains a little bit too tight. But that was pretty much it. Those are pretty much the only issues that I really had. I had a couple guys pass me. I think Nate was one of them. But those guys are, clearly out of my league, so I wasn't tripping out about it too much, or really even trying to keep up with them.
Well, again, congratulations on that tonight, and looking forward to Monza next week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 694 machine before we let you go?
Yeah, definitely. Jack Peterson, Brady Carlson, who isn't here. Obviously, you guys, you and Carl and Dom for putting on the races and doing the live broadcast. It's awesome. I love it.
Well, all right. Well, again, congratulations. Hopefully, we'll catch you again next week.
Sweet. Thank you. See you next week.
All right. That was our silver winner, Alan Gellison. And now, I guess we're going to go over to gold. Pull Ricky in here. Tyler, let you take this one away.
All right, Ricky. Well, John and Tyler here. It was a P4 finish for you there. It was a little bit of a fun battle between a lot of the guys. Nick, you, Justin, Nathan there. Take me through what that was kind of like, because that was a lot of fun to cover.
No, not fun. Not at all. Monza has historically been probably my worst race of any series when it's on the calendar. And I was just praying to survive every time I was around people. Didn't know what to do. I was like, you know what? Like, maybe I can just let them go, and then I can just coast in and fuel save behind them with the long braking zones. Then just, maybe jump them in the pit stop and hold on for dear life. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was a fun battle, though. It was fun. It's just always scary going side by side here. Like, the turns are so slow that anytime you go side by side with someone, you're instantly a second and a half, 2 seconds slower on the lap. And then next thing you know, the gap behind you's closed up, and you're like, oh boy, here we go again.
So, did you notice that the McLaren has a little bit better fuel saving ability than the Porsche and the Mustang? It
definitely does. It definitely does. Like I said last week, for me, like, it's just been more enjoyable to drive it. I don't feel like to go fast in the Porsche. I feel like you have to be on the extreme edge, on the limit, and if you back off a little bit, like, just to be mellow, you lose so much time, where the McLaren just feels the opposite. Like, it just seems like the easier and smoother you drive it, the faster you can go. So it's been kind of nice, but it does fuel save much nicer.
Absolutely.
Well, one of the quick things that I wanted to ask you real quick is, I mean, this is new for me. I've never broadcasted a GT race at the night at nighttime, but what was that kind of like, going, starting the race basically in the sunset, ending it basically in the pitch black?
Oh man, it got so dark out there in some spots. Some of your braking zones and stuff are just like a line on the track or something like that. And it's like you're going, and you're just staring down at the ground looking for it. And then by the time you see it and you hit the brakes, then you miss the apex because you weren't looking ahead at like the turn in. And it was so easy to make mistakes. I was like, let's just keep the incident count down and keep the car going in the right direction, and we'll salvage whatever we can get tonight. And it turned out to be a pretty good night after all.
Well, it definitely was good enough there for you in P4 and winning the division there. We got Le Mans next week. How are we feeling about that?
Yeah, we're finally back to a track that I'm not going to say something negative about. So there's that. I like it. I think it's probably one of the 5 best tracks that we have in iRacing. So long straightaways, good passing zones. Overall just a really fun track, nice and long. It's definitely up there. It might not be my best result, but it's definitely one of my favorite tracks to drive.
Well, good to know there. And it was a good result today. Again, here, any quick shout outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Just to the whole Next Gen Motorsports team and all the guys that drive with us. Some of us had a rough night tonight. Betts had a rough night. Nickerson, unfortunately, got a 2x netcode in the last turn with Crane spinning out and coming back on. And that 2x gave him a black flag coming out of the last turn for 40-second penalty. So I think he dropped from like P6 to 12 or something, unfortunately.
Ouch.
Yeah. It's always a bummer. I mean, those are, I guess, part of it in there, and you rack up the incidents on your own, but it's always a bummer to see that. But hopefully he's doing all right after that unfortunate incident. And then again, you guys always putting on a great series, and the broadcast is awesome. And thanks for that.
All right. Well, good stuff today, Ricky. There. Good job on a good run, and we'll see you next week.
All right, guys. See ya.
All right, that was our gold winner, Ricky Renner. He jumped out immediately. I was looking at the name and it disappeared. Let's see. Do we have Nick? No, I don't see Nick in here. So I guess next up will be second place, Mr. John Schwartz. Are you in there? Oh, looks like he may have muted himself. Well, I guess give him a second. And not. So I'll kick him back to the waiting room and pull in, I guess, our winner, Mason Smith here. Mason, this is John and Tyler in the booth. You get a copy.
I got a copy.
So, for most of the race there, he had, right there within a tenth or a couple tenths through that first stint right behind Jonathan. And then I'm guessing he took a set of 4 tires by accident and let you get a little 4-second lead there.
Yeah, I think nail on the head there. That was the big mistake, but it almost paid off at the end. But I think that was just the game changer right there. Him taking 4 and I took 3, and I know it took a little extra because I burned more fuel than he does, but yeah, I think that might have cost him there. Otherwise, he drove a flawless race. I capitalized on it. I think that's pretty much what happened the entire race.
Was the lap traffic there at the end, was that the last thing you wanted to see with him right around that 1.5 second gap trying to keep him out of draft? I know that had to be, I imagine you had a few choice words running through your head at times.
Oh, no. No, I was calm, composed, because, they're going to get out the way somehow, some way. But I know in that final lap, it's like, what's this guy doing? Why are they slowing down at a snail's pace? But I understand why they do it, and that's really courteous of them just to let by. I think it's part of the rules anyway, so I wasn't too fond with traffic. Actually, it kind of helped me out in some aspects when I was trying to run away from John during the second stint, so I didn't say it bothered me too much. So it probably might have cost John a bit of time, and then along with some of the slowdowns he got.
Yeah, we saw that on that final turn there was a car on the inside. Almost looked like you were trying to use him as a pick to keep John from launching it up the inside, but had to do a little bit of a crossover maneuver there, but congratulations. Definitely made it interesting for us to watch.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, yeah, it was a crazy finish once again um, with John. So it's probably gonna be that way for like the rest of the season going on. So we got got more tracks to go, and I don't think he's not gonna stop, and I don't want to let up either. So we're kind of like high on the high on the heels, trying to win races back to back.
I mean, both of you all finishing 17 seconds ahead of Nick Terrell. So, I mean, obviously great performance because, Nick is no slouch. Qualifying has been a little off here recently. I don't know if he's just been looking for a kind of last to first challenge for himself, best of the rest maybe. But definitely amazing job here tonight. And next week, we heard that you might have a friend back on track.
A friend back on track.
Yeah.
I wonder who would that be.
Oh, the Mason and Dom show will return for Le Mans.
For 1 week. uh, but yeah, I'm excited, but I gotta say they kind of killed the Ferrari's gear stack, or they kind of killed the setup. They like some of these cars are now using Daytona gear stack. Like that's the worst stack you could possibly ever use. So I
Even
don't
with
know.
Le Mans, like crazy long straights that are even longer than Daytona.
No, because the thing about it, you don't even need the Daytona gear stack because it's just way too long of a final drive. But like there's definitely other options. Definitely have to do some more testing though, because it is one of my favorite tracks to run, or to run here in the GT. And then along with the week after that, so we got plenty of good, we got plenty of good tracks left. So I'm confident in all of them.
Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight, and hopefully we will catch you again next week.
See you next week, boss.
All right. That was our winner, Mason Smith. Let's see if we can get. Yep, looks like John is ready. John, this is Tyler in the booth. You unmuted this time?
Yeah, I finally got you guys.
So, we asked Mason, but it sounds like you accidentally took 4 tires at that first stop.
Yeah, that's what it was. Just was so focused on getting a good pit entry, forgot to uncheck the tires. So definitely made my life harder the rest of the rest of the race. There would have liked to hang on, be right with them there, but definitely, sadly, might have taken a little bit of the excitement away from the race. But tried my best to bring it back up there.
Yeah, it looked like you gained almost a second and a half on that in lap on that second pit stop. Or is it just a full-on push lap, or was that just really how hard you attacked the pit lane?
I thought it was more the pit lane, honestly, than the out lap. It just seemed like he was really consistent on just his pace in general. I felt like he was able to gain a little bit of time in turn 1, then he would be able to gain in Ascari and like the Lesmos as well. So definitely bit of a back and forth, and lap traffic made things interesting at the end. I felt like if I didn't get 2 slowdowns, I got 2 slowdowns in turn 1, I had to serve them and lost a solid, I don't know, second at least from them combined. So just if I had one less one, might have been able to be closer like 1 lap earlier. So I just felt like we closed the gap, but we didn't get there soon enough. So just too many mistakes on our part. But the good news is we still had the pace, and we're able to at least still see him, still be able to keep track of Mason by the end there. So.
Yeah, it definitely looked like into that final corner, as Tyler said, almost a NASCAR send into.
Jonathan, I got to give it to you. That was one of the most oval-looking moves I've ever seen on a road course into the GT series. That was awesome.
I appreciate it. Yeah, if it worked, it would have been legendary. But I was like, I have to give it a shot, no matter if it works or not. So, glad we were able to at least get the lead in the final lap, even if it was for 2 seconds. I'll take it. So, I was like, you never know. The track's cooled down, the car has less fuel. Maybe the braking distance is shorter. Who knows? But unfortunately, these brakes didn't get that much better. But yeah, glad didn't cause a collision or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully I won't have to make more of those moves. But happy it looked cool on the broadcast.
I won't complain if you do it more. I'll applaud you every time you do it, especially if it's for a win like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going for a 5th place or something, maybe not. But if it's for a win, I'll be going for it every time. So yeah, hopefully future races I can just be running in the lead, so there's less pressure to go for a send. But yeah, still quite a fun run there. So
So if we find some talent for you to be running 5th, I'm thinking, we might have Lando and Max in here running with us.
yeah, let's keep them out of here just for the time being. That's what I gotta say.
Well, congratulations on 2nd place tonight. We got Le Mans coming up next week. Is that you enjoy that in the GT3s, or is that I mean, for me personally, it's a snooze fest as a driver because you're just sitting there on the throttle for so long.
I'd say it's a snooze fest up until like the Porsche curves. So I got a solid 30
Yeah.
seconds of enjoyment. So definitely have similar feelings. But otherwise, should be pretty interesting race.
Yeah, we heard that Dom's going to make an appearance again as well. So
Oh, that should be
be a
cool.
nice 3-way battle up there up front again.
Yeah, it should. Well, thanks again for the broadcast, guys, and see you next week.
All right, well, we'll see you. That
Thanks.
was 2nd place, John Schwartz. And so, Tyler, any big takeaways on this one?
Nighttime is definitely scary. That's one thing that I gathered from that. And 2, I hope we have more last laps like that again, because the finishes this year in this GT series has been, I'd say, pretty stellar. So I just hope we can continue to have some banger races like we've been having lately. And I don't know. I mean, you say Le Mans is boring as a driver. I've never raced there. I've never even had experience there before. So let's hope we have another good one.
It's not so bad because you're accelerating.
Yeah.
GT3s, there's 20 seconds at the end of each straightaway where you're like, all right, I'm in 5th gear, 6th gear. Da, 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 da. All right, just don't miss the braking zone. Don't, you got. It's almost like running Daytona when you hit the back stretch.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but other than that, we're going to give a quick little shout out to our sponsor here for GT, Chase Decals. They don't really do a lot of race car stuff, but they do commercial vehicle wrap. So if you need anything, you can get in touch with Josh, and he can help y'all with that. But from everyone here at CRN, we appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week.